Hey there, so today we have another beer talk, and this was inspired by a Draft Mag article called Opening the Pandora's Box of Mixing Beers. So I'm going to offer the cons of mixing beers together and then the pros, my argument for why mixing beers should be done more. So the cons are that the brewer has intended the beer to be served a certain way, and don't mess around with that. You don't go to a high-end restaurant and order your steak well done. You don't order a $45 plate at a fancy restaurant and ask them to put ketchup on it. The beer is served the way it is, and that's how the brewer intended it. Enjoy it the way it is, and don't start putting another brewer's beer in it. I can certainly respect that. As for the pros, I find blending beer to be highly analogous to why we are seeing more beer and food pairing available out there, and why more people are being educated about food and beer pairing from both the bar staff side and also the customer side. So this involves bar staff being a little bit more educated. We try to sell food with beer if you work in the industry, and the same way it can work with, oh, by the way, you like these 2 glasses of beer? We at the bar have found that we've blended that together at this certain ratio, and we think that you might like it. So here's another glass, and try to blend that together. And that's exciting, because the customer probably has not heard that before. One of the arguments for mixing beer is that it's just not done enough. So it's not a hugely prevalent issue where everybody's doing it at all these breweries and bars, and people are not simply enjoying beer for what it is. This is just not done that much. So it's something that can be very exciting. And the other thing is that it forces the customer to think more about flavor, because now they enjoy the flavor in this beer, they may or may not enjoy the flavor in this beer, and all of a sudden, if you blend them together, they might find a flavor combination that makes sense and gets them excited. And that's exactly what we try to do with food and beer pairing. So I think it's just a great way to get bar staff more educated, because this forces them to blend beers and understand beers and sell that and explain that to customers. And then this now gets the customers more excited, because now they are trying something they've never tried before. Same thing with beer and food pairing. A lot of people have not tried beer and food pairings before. So now this beer blending concept is another thing that they can think about, and it forces them to think more about flavor and be more educated about beer, and I think that's exciting. Craft beer is about experimentation, and so when you get people more excited about something and force them to think about flavor more and get them more educated, I think blending beer is a great path for that. So post in the comments below what you think the pros and cons for blending beer are. Until next time, guys, cheers. Later.